What's up? Welcome back for more Honkai Impact 3rd. Today we're gonna continue the Act 2 of The Day You Vanish with the Stars. Alright, let's get right into it. Seven stars. Listen brutal. Bitch. Hoodoo. Alright, let's do it. Please, Miss Iron Fist. I saw Kongming's eyes close again. Her heart had stopped beating, but her tears were still streaming down. Tears dripped drop by drop onto the back of my hand. They were cold. Charging, complete. Positioning anchor, complete. Transferring, complete. Calculating termination time. Like bubbles, small chunks of my consciousness slowly floated back. But regaining my senses took more time. A fragrance found its way to my nostrils. My body became lighter and began to embrace the drifting senses. But as my senses returned to me, the fragrance began to smell wrong. Something bitter in my mouth. Slept. As I struggled to sit up in the bed, something was accidentally knocked over and fell down. I heard the sound of something breaking, and then I caught a cough. Then, I turned around and saw Kongming waving her fan at my side, with her poker face and unfriendly eyes. This looked unmistakably the Kongming I used to know. Why? Why am I here? I was hoping you would answer this question for me. Fool. Looks like I did it? How did you manage to fail again and ended up in my chamber? I meant to say I'm back to save your life, but she'd simply sniff at me and refuse to believe her life was at stake. I have no idea why I wasn't sent back to my world. I was hoping you could tell me. I was telling the truth, but only the half of it. But what exactly went wrong with my formation? Even Rosalia and Lilia are missing now. Never mind. Long story short, I didn't see you when I left the ruins, but I found you here and unconscious. Well, that does place me 3 months earlier than the last time. By the way, the Penglai incense is a precious tribute from the Western Nomans carefully preserved for Chinsin. I don't know. I burned half of the block to wake you up, and you casually broke the other half. Oh shit. I didn't mean to, and the smoke also suffocated me. You ungrateful fool. I ground the incense into powder to save your worthless life, and you dare to crumble? Hindi ka crumble. So the bitter taste came from the incense. Never mind. It's a great folly for me to save you in the first place. She was always this self-important and grumpy before. The Kongming I knew is back, and that's a big relief. You look disturbed and absent-minded. I just saved your life, but where's your respect and gratitude? All hail Kongming! I'd never disrespect you. Do you have anything to confess? I hope you're not keeping something from me. Huh? No, of course not. Really? Oh shit, sorry. Time will attest to my innocence and integrity. I heard Miss in Iron Fist noise when I was half conscious. Maybe Kongming heard too, and that's why she asked me this. The bed was right beside the screen, and from where I sat, I could see Miss Iron Fist clearly. That's Tesla Zero? How did you know Miss Iron Fist? Lying to Kongming is like playing with fire. I'd better mix it with a tad of truth. Oh, the Chancellor told me a lot of your stories, and I know this Miss Iron Fist has been a big help to you. Yes, that's the Tesla Zero you've heard. She came here with an old friend, but she's been asleep ever since the old friend left. Looks like Miss Ironfist fell into power-saving mode again before Kongming returned, so I wouldn't be exposed. Rita, did tell you all this? She never said she had a civilian friend like you. Miss Ironfist once helped me to defeat Hudo, now it has returned, but she's not able to help again. Neither are a lot of my old friends. Kongming sighed deeply. It's hard for me to admit, but my formation was the reason why you failed to return to your world once again. I was told Hudo had broke loose again, and Rita went to the front line. Just now, Teresa and I sent envoys to Shiksal and Germond asking for their help. They're not coming. If Hudo picks Umbria as its first target, the other two kingdoms may very well stand by. Kongming's front made me realize I might have taken too big a leap to avoid her suspicion. I added something. Just a hunch, but it wouldn't hurt to ask them anyway. On the other hand, you can start preparing your formation. I had that in mind, but Rita left me a message. No, there's no time for hesitation. I've kept myself away from worldly affairs far too long that same logic seems to slip off me. And to my surprise, you read the situation very well. When I was cracking my brains for a good reason to convince her, she made up her mind decisively. Let's go and check the Abyssal Altar. Oh, Abyssal Altar. So this is where Hudo was sealed. Yes, Hudo was previously sealed at the altar, or in a space near the altar to be more exact. When it fled the space, it also caused massive damage to the ruins over there. That's Golem? It's still asleep? Look closely. Kongming walked up to Golem, and with a gentle lift of hand, half of Golem's head fell. Shit. The fallen part had clear scorch marks. Could it be Hudo? It even broke Golem? Exactly, and maybe the traces can help us to track it down. Captain, help me deploy the 7-star formation. The 7-star formation? Light up the 7-star lanterns in the correct order. Follow me, I'll tell you how it works later. Okay. I don't know the backstory of it because I was so busy with houseworks. Light up the 7 lantern. Oh shit. I hate the lag. Why am I lagging? I need a better RAM. Fuck's sake. Light up the 7 lanterns. Is that it? Oh, it's moving.
美味しそうに見えるけど遠慮するわ。時は来た。勝手に止まらないで。ここに長いしてはいけないわ。
Okay.
戦局の変化はすべてお見通しよ。
Strange. Kongming, What's... I deployed the formation to probe the ruins and lit up the lanterns to indicate Hodo's energy traces. The lantern point to Moon Umbria, but I didn't receive any report on its appearance there. As she spoke, some disturbing crackles were heard. I looked closely and found 5 lanterns cracked. Kongming waved her fan with a frown. Captain, we need to return to Moon Umbria now. What did you find, Kongming? I used the same formation to seal Hodo, but now 5 of the 7 lanterns are broken. It's grown much stronger since then. The Lancer told us Hodo went to Moon Umbria first, and the most densely populated part. Shit! I can't read. But based on the information I've received, Hodo never showed up around Moon Umbria lately. Rita said she could handle Hodo alone and told me to focus on the formation. Evidently, Hodo may bounce back any hour and Rita can only hold off it from Moon Umbria for a short time. As if to echo Kongming's observation, a huge bang came from afar. Curses! That's from the largest neighborhood of Moon Umbria. Oh, wait, Kongming, is Rita? We're running out of time. Let's talk about this on the road. Okay. I have a very bad feeling. It's like I know there's a thin thread in the wind, but I can't see it or grip it. For the first time in my life, I can feel the future slipping through my fingers like a sand grains. Never mind. To endeavor to my wits' end and leave no room for regrets in my way. Hold on, Captain. Standing on a hilltop outside Moon Umbria, we saw sporadic fire burning in the city's commercial area. Some shops are damaged, but not very badly. The fire should be put out soon. It's a bit weird. None of the citizens are out to snuff out the fire. President, Your Majesty, you're the manager of the fabric store, right? There's fire in the city. Are you alright? Where are you going? I'm fine. Just here to check my store. How does it look? Half of the store is toasted, but thanks to the Chancellor, all of our precious stock were moved elsewhere. You saw the Chancellor? Chancellor. I don't know. Counselor. That's a word. Okay. Chancellor. Sorry guys. Did she head to the mountain behind the city? The difficult terrain there is very likely to keep Hodo away. Counselor. That's the word. I don't know. Chancellor? Counselor. I don't know. On hearing these words, the manager knelt down and contoned 3 times. Wait. I'll search it. It's Chancellor or Chancellor. I don't know because Counselor doesn't have age. Okay. Yeah, see? The Chancellor sent word and told us to hide in the mountain. She said the beast wouldn't go there. No wonder there's no one in the city. They all went to the mountain. She mentioned there were other monsters brought by Hodo, but they wandered about without a clear target. So where's the Chancellor then? I have no idea. Kongming helped the manager get on his feet. Her lips parted, but something held her words back. Leave now and hurry. Stores can be rebuilt, but you only have one life. Kongming remained where she was, her eyes staring into the distance. Kongming, don't blame him. You think I'd blame him for ditching the safety zone Rita told them to stay in and risking his life for the shop? No, I won't. Life is hard, and the shop means the world to him. Besides, shit! Okay. Besides, he doesn't owe his life to Rita. Kongming sighed before she carefully observed the neighborhood and plucked a tree branch to draw a formation. Water on the top lake and lake at the bottom. What? This rain-praying formation should be enough to handle the fire. I struck Hudo down along the path. Is this Hudo? Oh. Hudo! Okay, please let us save
皆の者
us
出陣よ
Can I burn? Oh yeah, I can. Shit. No shit,
走る
Jin.
余が新たに研究した陣形を試さないの
Oh shit. Okay then.
ついてきなさい後ろは
Where's the
任せた
bitch
わ
guy?
いらないからあげるわ
Yang pasas pakboy.
余が新たに研究した陣形を試さないの時は来た四彩風揚転覆雲水素晴らしい戦いだったわ帰ったら祝杯をあげましょう
A trail of huge scorched footsteps extended before our eyes, and on the side of the trail were trees slashed in half. This is obviously from Hudo's tail sweep. Hudo went that way, the ancient battlefield. There's an open space where it can run freely. If we can stop it there, it would be even harder to trap it later. Rita, don't even think about. Kongming bit her lips and took long to make up her mind. I fear I won't be able to protect you later, so take the bamboo path and get into the mountain now. Don't give up on me yet, Kongming. I may not be much of a help, but I certainly won't become your dead weight. I can take care of myself. It's your call. Kongming packed her fan and flipped her long sleeve to stride off. I'll stay by your side no matter how hard it is. This time, we'll save Rita together and rewrite history. Follow up. I'm not waiting for you. Her voice faded as our gap expanded. I threw my hesitation aside to catch up with her. No! The ancient battlefield. Bang! I stepped in and saw a giant shadow looming in the smoke. Kongming's hard drag helped me evade the raining rumble. Hudo is hiding now? Oh, it's Rita. In the smoke screen stood a tall figure. Hide all you want, vile creature, but there's no escaping my final strike. Final strike. Oh, she's all gang up. Huh. You'll never put your filthy claws on Umbria again, even if the cost in my life. If the cost of my life, shit. The Grand Chancellor of Umbria, the perfect woman free from any human weakness, was now bathed in blood. Ay, nag-all! Ish. Dalian na! Still, there wasn't even a trace of fear to be found on her face. Rita, what do you think you're doing? Rita turned over and saw me. Captain, you're here too? No wonder Her Majesty found me. Forgive my manners, but this is not a good place or time for a friendly chat. She gave me a bitter smile before turning around again. Her Majesty, so I failed to keep you from here. Sorry you have to find me in this utterly unpresentable state." Kongming didn't wait Rita to finish and tore a scrap of her sleeve. She walked up to Rita silently and dressed her wounds. Oh. It's a pity the cloud blue fabric went to waste. It takes a lifetime to extract this special color from the flowers. That's the least of my worries now. Kongming's little face was now pumped up by anger like a puffer. "I've been meaning to say this since the beginning. Liar! Rita, you're the biggest liar in the world. You lied to my face about the crisis. Had I not checked the altar myself, you'd be a toast by now. Hodo is much stronger now, and it takes both of us to stop it. Your Majesty's forte is the formations, not close combat. Your Majesty almost caught a cold in the last Hodo hunt. So you decided to trade your life for the beast in my stead?" Oh shit, look at her eyes. Kongming cut in abruptly, leaving Rita no room for explanation. Rita looked at her puffed face and smiled in reply. "Yes, but I was simply following the suicidal tradition Your Majesty set when we dealt with Hodo the last time. You." I didn't know what went down exactly, but judging from Kongming's stutter, Rita was telling the truth. "Well, like Empress, like Chancellor." Rita looked to the horizon. "The beast broke loose in Your Majesty's absence, and I'm responsible for not being able to safeguard the Empire. From this moment, you two became immortal. With no other greater interference, your life shall last eternally. If the Colossus told the truth, Umbria will reign forever as... Reign? I don't know. Umbria will reign forever as long as Your Majesty and I still breathe. Even in times of war, if we keep our distance from the front line, the Colossus will always be able to turn the tide. But Your Majesty has cautioned me time and again ever since the Colossus granted the wish. Umbria is more than you and me." "Rita, I don't need to hear this now." "Well, I'm trying to fill Captain in. At first, I didn't quite understand. On the first day of every month, we always went to the Star Pavilion together. It's a place where we enjoy stage performances, specially prepared for us. The shows were great, but having watched the same for ages, my mind would wander as soon as the curtain was lifted. One day, Your Majesty told me there was an alley right beside the Star Pavilion. The show were not prohibited from civilians' eyes, so many people would crowd the alley for a glimpse. Later on, I found out it wasn't the show that captured their eyes. It's the untouchable Your Majesty and me. It's the untouchable. And the funny thing is, Your Majesty and I enjoy watching them far more than the monotonous shows. Shit. The Star Pavilion was thus turned into a window for the people of Umbria and asked to peek into a different way of life. Rita chuckled and somehow a sense of understated loneliness in her laughter. Your Majesty is full of curiosity and love running through the city's nooks and crannies for little adventures. Once out the Imperial Citadel, I don't know, she would become a small fish swimming freely in the open water. I remember my favorite sugar figure stand. The nicest one was always sold out, and I had to settle for something else. And the daughter of fragrance store's owner always nagged me for candy, so her father always gave me free sachets. After 1,000 years, some shops still stand, but more have died with their owners. People always come and go. That's what makes your majesty appreciate that Umbria is more than you and me. One Umbria is the sum of every soul breathing within its walls, and so is the Empire. Not for a second have I forgotten your majesty's words. The Empress and Chancellor fell silent in the thickening smoke. I told you I didn't want to hear this, Rita. You just keep going on and on in your typical leisurely manner. Kongming's half-hearted accusation surprised both Rita and me. The two of them looked at each other and couldn't hold back their laugh. Now is maybe not the best time to walk down memory lane, but weirdly, it's all I can think of before the deadly battle. The rumble returned in the company of the monster's scorching breath. Kongming lifted her fan. The east wind is rising. Follow me to battle. Your Majesty. Rita raised her sight and stood before us. Please focus on your formation, and I'll defeat the wild beast once and for all. The two of you have helped me, so for Rita to lose this battle is to disgrace Umbria and its people. Oh. Hi, bitch. Oh, you're Hudo. The tiger of the bee. I hate
信
you.
頼していただきありがとうございます。目標が姿を現しました。艦長様、お茶などはいかがですか？
What? Why cannot I attack? Yes!
任務完了。お待たせいたしました。
That was so close. And flat 80. Let's go. Your Majesty. As soon as Rita knocked down Hudo, Kongming's 7-star formation was activated around the beast. Plundering to break free, Hudo spat furious flames to burn everything and everyone around. Make your end now. My vision suddenly blurred and I thought I saw a dragon proudly raising his head behind Kongming. Meanwhile, 6 of the 7 lanterns in the formation went out one by one. The formation cannot stop it. Why did Hudo grow in power after it broke the seal? Could it be it formed some kind of connection with the ruins and siphoned power from the formation? And the ruins now serve as an energy pool for it to channel and restore power. I'll hold it off, Your Majesty. Try to switch the formation and sever Hudo's connection with the ruins first. The last lantern went out as well. Hudo, its power is surging rapidly. The power surge will backfire and cause an explosion. Hudo means to kill all of us with a suicidal attack. Let me distract it and lure it to the sea. No, this is suicide. I can do it. Now you concentrate on the formation and wait for me to run far. You've stopped it before, and you can certainly make it this time. Kongming looked at me again and said something, but I couldn't hear her. The flame storm swept over and set us apart. Pain overwhelmed every inch of my body and threatened to take away my consciousness. In the twilight zone, I seemed to hear something. Countdown. 9 seconds. 8 seconds. Countdown? Why would there be a timer? Is it a countdown to who just exploded? I began to run, but I seemed to have forgotten how to run. I was merely swinging my arms and legs like a broken robot. The formation worked, but it only stalled Hudo by a bit. It came at me like a giant, burning wrecking ball. For my eyes led a cliff overlooking the ocean, and a pit that I had no idea how deep it reached. With searing wind licking my cheeks, there's no time for me to think. I was ready to dive off the cliff, but something tripped me over and I ended up falling into the pit. That's right. I kept falling as I heard a massive boom from outside the pit. Hudo should have fallen into the sea, and the explosion wouldn't hurt anyone this way. The boom soon faded away, but not the timer in my head. Countdown to retracting anchor, 9 seconds, teleportation terminating. That's Miss Ironfist speaking. The teleportation is ending? I don't know exactly how it works, but seems to me this space-time teleportation has a time limit. Well, it wouldn't be right without a limit, but the question is, where will I be after the teleportation ends? And will I be sent back to the Qin Sea when Kongming died miserably and left Miss Ironfist to me? I have no answers. Anyway, Hudo has died, so Rita won't have to sacrifice her life, and Kongming would be alive too. I've saved their lives. While still in midair, I turned my head, allowed to rain of tiny gravel wash my face, and let out a relieved sigh. Great. Looks like the only one that dies in this story is going to be me. To be honest, good luck was never my friend, but if I can somehow make it out alive, I'll let you tell my fortune again, Kongming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wish me luck. Husk. Once again, the world turned gray and obscure. I was not at all afraid. Things are always gray and obscure before light comes. Survive, Mr. Assassin. Kongming's voice rang in my head, but I couldn't seem to remember when she said this to me. In the gray, something poked my eyes. I opened my eyes, but they acted against my will and closed the next instant. Tears rushed out, and I saw light. I fumbled around and found myself still in the pit. It took me a while to get used to the light. Somehow, the pit turned to be shallower than I remember, and very soon I climbed out with ease. I was standing amidst a boundless desert, but my memory told me to fight took place near the ancient battlefield. Being close to the sea, this place had no reason to be so dry and barren. I suddenly began to understand why the pit appeared so much shallower. The surface soil seemed to have been eroded into sands. Wait, the sea? Where's the sea under the cliff? I peered down the cliff. There's no sea, only a big hole. Everything has changed. What happened after the Hudo battle? I could only rely on my fading memory to make out the direction and head to where I last saw Kongming. A tree gradually emerged on the horizon, a rare sign of life in the desert. I quickened my steps. Dot. As I walked closely, I found out it's a desert poplar. Poplar? Yeah, poplar. Dot. I also saw someone under the tree. She seemed to be staring into the tree and lost in her thoughts. The dress told me it's Rita. But why would she be here? I ran to her to find out. Rita! On hearing my voice, Rita turned around. ... Look at how poorly the design is. Sorry, Mihoyo. I could hardly believe my eyes. Right before me stood a Rita that looked withered and emaciated. I don't know. When I last saw her in the battle, she seemed weakened and worn, but her fire of life was still burning bright. The look on her face was hollow and tired. The same look I saw on the bad-ending Kongming's face. Only people who have lost their dearest have eyes like this. Uh-oh. A glimmer flashed by her eyes when she saw me. Her Majesty's calculation is right. You're still alive. Rita, is Kongming... I wasn't sure what to say. It shouldn't be like this. No way! Rita bowed to me and the look on her face told the whole story. Captain, you've finally come. Is Hudo gone? Yes, it's gone. But just as Her Majesty foresaw, when its death came a violent explosion. It occurred on the sea beyond our border, and all three kingdoms suffered heavy losses. We managed to contain the damage, but for Jormungand and Shiksal, it's outright catastrophic. Jormungand's sea evaporated and became land, while Shiksal glaciers melted and turned into an ocean. Captain, do you still remember the two envoys we dispatched to Shiksal and Jormungand for help? Yeah, what about them? The two never made it back. They went missing. Missing? Not kept prisoners by Shiksal and Jormungand? Before the time travel, Kongming told me two envoys were sent, but the two kingdoms never lent a hand. That's where things don't add up. Earlier, Her Majesty believed the two envoys were detained, but we did not respond before the Hudo battle. The Arch-Imperator and Corsair Queen are not my friends, but I know killing the messengers is below them. With Hudo's return, the monsters is brought along also put people from the other two kingdoms in harm's way. I regarded the Arch-Imperator and Corsair Queen were only being cautious for the sake of their own kingdoms. But soon after Hudo was defeated, the message came that Jormungand and Shiksal allied to invade us. I sent people to investigate and learn the shocking fact that the two kingdoms did send troops to our aid. After Hudo perished, the two kingdoms assumed their soldiers' help, but they never returned. Missing envoys and troops, they might jump to the wrong conclusion if they relate this to the Hudo explosion. Yes, rumors rose believing it was us who freed Hudo and imprisoned the aiding troops to hurt the two kingdoms. The two kingdoms were consumed by rage and war was inevitable. Shit. I began to make preparations. And Kongming, Her Majesty, did something no one expected. She fed the rumor that Embria was struggling over resistance or surrender and kept playing her zither on the keep. It's a screen smoke to cover our evacuation. She wouldn't listen, however, hard I tried to urge her to live with us. When the zither tune began to falter, the invaders attacked, believing it indicated the loss of the defender's fate. But when the gate was rammed open, only Her Majesty was found inside. All the city residents had been evacuated. Her Majesty finished the last tune with grace and dignity before she whispered farewell to her zither lament. Oh! Don't tell me they killed her. Oh my god. Every story, I think every story is gonna kill her. Oh shit. That's not working. I'll defend.
北斗よ災いを消し去れ
Enemies in the palace. I'll
い
defend.
らないからあげるわ
She's only defending, for fuck's sakes. Ah, fucking annoying bug. Looks like the people should be That's enough for me. No! I can still fight with this. Precious little. Just give me company to the I will not die! Never mind! Her Majesty bought us time to evacuate Moon Umbria and defended the besieged city herself to the last breath. According to my informers, the Allied invaders failed to find their lost troops in Moon Umbria. Moon Umbria has fallen. We cannot return now. I gathered intel on the missing troops and envoys, the location they were last seen and the map of the area. I have no use for it now. But Captain, you may still find it helpful. My sole purpose here is to pass on Her Majesty's message and hand over her. Rita reached her hand into the winding branches of the desert poplar and carefully took out something. I'm leaving Miss Iron Fist to your care, Mr. Assassin. That's Her Majesty's message. Mr. Assassin. Kongming, why? When did she... How did she know I was the Mr. Assassin she met in her youth? It suddenly occurred to me that after I woke up in Kongming's room, she asked me if I was holding something back. She probably had suspected then, and my smart play gave myself up and confirmed her suspicion. Is it the rattling of Miss Iron Fist before she went in, or a slip of my tongue that exposed me? There's no way to find out now. A new Moon Umbria will rise where we stand now. Many hours of work will be devoted, but Moon Umbria is the sum of every soul breathing in it, and so is the Empire. Rita reached out her thin arm and stroked the desert poplar. This desert poplar has stood here for long years, probably even before I was born. The trunk has withered and the branches have broken, but it still stands proudly. It takes 1,000 years for a desert poplar to die, another 1,000 years to fall, and a third to rot. This saying always reminds me of the Grand Series and Umbria. The first part is about the Grand Series, the second is about the Grand Series name, and the third about Umbria. The Grand Series name was passed on to Teresa, but Her Majesty is still safeguarding the Empire after her death. The Empire lives on, the Grand Series name lives on, but Her Majesty is no longer with us. Rita bowed to me again. Pray forgive my babbling. I tell myself, Her Majesty was someone who faced Hudo alone for the realm and risked her life to send me a message. Who stood watch at the abyssal altar for 1,000 years and shielded Moon Umbria on her own. She's never destined to meet her and comfortably in a feather bed. And I should have known long ago. But deep down, a part of me still holds this delusion that you could somehow save her. Her voice sank low and I could hardly hear her. I can see tears welling up in her eyes. But why are you holding them back instead of letting it all out? I wanted to ask her this, but I didn't. Perhaps she saw the same look on me and wanted to ask me the same question. No! What went wrong? I strongly felt something was off. What changes had this world seen? The missing envoys and the soldiers, the monsters that came with Hodo's return, and the broken golem. None of this makes any sense. After Rita left, I eyed the Tesla Zero lying under the tree. Here we go again. Miss Ironfish, should I travel back to the last hour of Kongming in the Mount Umbria siege? Low power mode activate. Speech module disabled. Oh my god, it's like going back in time just to save the one you love. It's like Res Zero, where Subaru, if Subaru die, he will go back in time. My god, she did die there, but that wasn't the deciding factor. I should stop the two kingdoms from joining forces. I should set the anchor at perhaps checking the name list and map Rita gave me would help. Low power mode activate, speech module disabled. The map showed that troops coming to aid were last seen in a valley near the Jormungand and Umbria border. I unfold the name scroll and the myriad of soldiers' names began to wear out my eyes quickly. Nothing important. The second I folded the scroll, two strange names pop up. Vodka Typhoon from Jormungand, Vodka Swordmaster from Shiksal. These names feel fishy to me. Gotta be the twins. They were supposed to have come here with Kongming, but Rosalia and Lilia. If they are indeed in the aid troops, finding them will help turn the situation around. Keywords detected and analyzed. Augmentation on activating. Activating. Set anchor to initiate transfer with full energy charge. XCOM. Okay, I have dailies again. Okay. My god, Kongming died again. Okay. Come charge me to unlock the next chapter. I will. 2 days from now. Okay. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you into the next chapter. Johnny.